Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'll be late, I'll miss it. I'll be court-martialed, I'll be shot, I'll be sent to the Russian front. No, they left without me. Actually, they didn't. We're in the pen over here somewhere. But which one? This very one.
Ein Drittel Fahrt voraus.
Well, hello and welcome to Patrol 2. This time, on this lovely voyage, we are going to BF-15. Where is that, you ask? Well, it's here. In shallow waters, which concerns me. But I'm sure we won't have any troubles. Unless they transport the whole lot right into our engine room, where there will be no trouble at all. If you don't get that reference, I'm ashamed of you. Anyway, it's not very far, and it's right in the western approaches. The only concern is that it is shallow water. So that's our only potential problem. And we are sailing out into the night. Is this ship moving? No, it's not. Okay. A tuggy boat. I think it's a tug. It looks like a tug. U-boats. Okay, what are you doing parked outside the pens? You're not very safe out here. You're vulnerable to air raids, you silly people. Oh well. I will cut here because can't imagine much is going to happen in port. Well, we've just received a very interesting radio message from our comrades aboard U-31, and they're saying, attacked by British submarine outside Lorient. Advise. As in, I've never seen another submarine before. What do I do? Ah! Well, it is 53 minutes past midnight on October 22nd, 1940. And we're in our patrol grid. So we're just gonna set up a fancy schmancy little search pattern. And we'll see what we can find, and if we don't find anything, I think we're gonna sneak further into the western approaches and see what we can stir up. But until then, I will inform you in the event that something lovely should transpire. Guess what? We have a convoy heading northeast at 7 knots. That'll put it about there, but when will it put it there? If it's doing 7 knots, then it'll be there in about 5 hours, give or take. So, how soon can we be there? At flank speed. And deleting all of our other waypoints. Because if we intercept it inside our grid, then Uncle Carl will be very happy. He will be most pleased, and when he tells the Führer, he will be most pleased. He might even smile. Did that ever even happen? I really don't know. Anyway, we'll just let that speed establish itself. And then ask Mr. Navigator what our time to end of course is. 4 hours. So we should be able to intercept them in plenty of time. So once we get there, we will perform a sonar check and see what we can find. Until then, I will see you in a bit. Well, it'll be a particularly bit for you because it'll happen right away. So I got some bad news. Unfortunately, and this is probably going to make you pull your hair out to hear this, but this visibility is just too low to make an effective attack. Because look at that. We are maybe, at this position, we are maybe 300 meters away from the boat, and we can't see it. So, sorry to burst all your bubbles, but we are going to have to find action elsewhere and delay offensive action until the conditions improve. So, sorry about that. Alright, we've completed our obligations in BF-15. The weather has not improved, so we are going to head in here for a bit in St. George's Canal and sort of just have a look around and see what we can spot. Are there any raidable ports? Yes, but I'm hesitant to for the time being. But we'll see how things develop. Okay, this is getting to be just painful that the weather's like this because we're getting so many radio reports. It's like blah, 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 blah. So that's slightly infuriating. If we don't find anything here, we might actually head up here. I don't know. Air cover seems to be pretty thin. I haven't seen any planes yet. Probably thanks to the weather, so if it could stay overcast, that'd be really nice. Alright, here's the cheese. We are heading up to AM01. Why, you ask? Because this is a very convoy-rich environment, and we are in a squall, and we can't see a thing. So we're going to head there, because we still have plenty of fuel, he says. And, yeah. Well, we do have plenty of fuel. I'm just concerned by how much burned already. We were running at a head flank for a while trying to catch that convoy, so we'll see what develops. Oh, it's glorious. But, oh, actually this is perfect. It's wavy, so it masks our periscope, though it does make it difficult for us to see. We got a decent amount of visibility. And, well, we're still down here. We're actually still gonna head up to here, because then we don't have to worry about planes down here, so we're gonna stick with our current course of action. Oh well, this is interesting. 42,000-ton Empress of Britain attacked by Luftwaffe aircraft in vicinity of AM-46. Find and sink ship. Now, my knowledge might be a little bit rusty, but I'm pretty sure that this was in fact sunk. But the question is, can we make it there? Because the problem is, a ship like that is very, very, very fast, you see. And she'll be heading into port. So, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to catch her, but we'll see. You're not going to believe this, but we have a ship heading due west at medium speed. So, we are going to catch it. We are going to sneak a little peek. We're just going to head over to here. And then we are going to go to periscope depth and have ourselves a little listen, see what we can hear. What is this? I think it's a neutral ship. That's really... Oh no, it's just a star. That's not the ship at all. Oh well. This just got interesting. Any sonar contacts, Mr. Kamarov? Absolutely bugger all, sir. Well, that's no good. Keep listening. Oh, there we go. Kontakt, Flufter. Kommt näher, großer Entfernung. Yeah. Ooh, could it be 2? No, it's not. Oh well. Let's have a look. We're just gonna stay under the waters. Alright, that looks to be in a pretty good position. Let's see if we can spot it. Let's see, we're running at 4 knots. How much battery do we have? Oh, tons. Haven't been running for very long. Okay. Bearing 070. Alright, let's get up a little higher. Oh, there it is. And it's neutral. Well, that makes me a sad puppy. Bah! Or is it? I think it is. But we're gonna sneak a peek because I'm a cheat. Because I don't think that's a star. I think that is a ship. And I think it's neutral. Which is poo-poo pancakes, but there isn't really much we can do about it. Oh, and it's such a big, fatsy, juicy. Although it is a hospital ship, so I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Is this one a hospital ship too? Yes. I wouldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to. I say, having serious second thoughts. No, we will not be attacking these ships. We will just be drooling at the sight of them and wishing them well. I guess, maybe. To follow up the earlier message, Empress of Britain sunk. Oh, that's right. I do seem to recall reading that it was U-32 that did it. Although I think U-32, at this point in the war, is going to be sunk very soon. Because it's October 28th. I know it was sunk in 1940. I think it was in November. So we'll see what happens. We're just making a quick sound check dive, but we have an interesting message. Italian forces have invaded Greece. We are on the march. Victorious Italian troops crossed the Greco-Albanian frontier at dawn today. Oh, I should have done that in an Italian accent, but I can't do that. Benito Mussolini to Adolf Hitler, 28th of October, 1940. The Italians proved to be kind of a drag in the dirt for the Germans. They didn't really do very well, so we'll see how that goes. Oh well, there we go, the long-awaited thing. U-32, attacked by destroyer, damaged, forced to surface. Scuttled. So U-32 is toast. Yet for some reason it comes up in at least the movie Das Boot as they get a radio message from it in November of 1941, so that would be an error. I don't know if it's in the book or not. I'm still reading the book and I haven't got to that yet. I'll let you know. Oh well, this is absolutely pristine. It's quite lovely. So lovely that I would be very tempted to say, ooh, can we just accelerate to a head flank a bit and let me water ski behind the boat? That would totally work. Actually, although it can only make 16 knots, so it'd be a bit plowy. But, meh. And also it's not entirely smooth, but it is quite lovely. Problem is, we don't really want this much visibility, because it means we can see other ships, but they can also see us really easily. There's a balance to be struck there, and we can't always have it. But, you know, it's still perfectly suitable as long as we do see them first and get down to periscope depth. I do deeply apologize that nothing has happened so far. I'd really like to have some action in this episode, but if we don't get some soon, I'm going to have to cut it, because it's probably starting to get just a little bit long. About 10 seconds after I say that, we have spotted a merchant. But oh, watch officer, my watch officer, get up here. Where is it? Do tell. No visual contact, my cans. Where is it? No visual contact. Periscope depth. Visibility has deteriorated. We're sort of heading into a fog bank here, which is interesting. Wait a minute. Maybe not. I thought I saw a boat for a moment. I probably did, but I'm a silly laughing sawfish. But as we plunge into the deep, I say, Mr. Kamarov. Oh, we can't. I should name my crew. Actually, that brings up an interesting topic. Once again, I don't know if I mentioned this before or not. If you would like to have a crew member named in your honor, like Effing Controller did, feel free to ask. It's quite easy to do. And should that be something you would like to have happen, I'd be happy to oblige. If not, I'm going to start naming crew members interesting things. Like I might call my hydrophone operator Mr. Kamarov, because he was the sonar operator in that great film, The Hunt for Red October. I have actually read that book, and it's very long. The movie's a shortened version of it, but it needs to be. Because if the movie had everything that's in the book, it would be 6 hours long, but I'm not going to go off on a tangent. We're going to see what we can hear. Because apparently we got some kind of phantom ship. Well, I'm going to have a listen for myself. Thank you very much. Shh. Ooh. Be very quiet. I'm hunting vessels. That was going so well, and then I sort of messed it up. Alright. That sounds like it's definitely a merchant. Moving very slow, bearing 002. Fairly constant bearing. Okay, Suffus! Ahead flank, we're going after it.
Auftauchen.
Auftauchen.
Vorne um 10 hinten, komm auf 5.
Feindliche Fahrt voraus.
Yeah! I can speak German a little bit. Mostly nautical stuff that I learned from this, actually. But that's lovely. But yes, I do speak a little bit of German if it should spark your interest. Anywho, let's see what we got. Watch, officer. Get your fat fanny onto the bridge. Thank you very much. Bearing was 002. There we go. Bearing 003. Oh, and it's going that way. So let's turn to that point.
Neuer Kurs 6, 4, 3, große Entfernung.
Part of me kind of wants to attack it with the deck gun, and then the other part of me is trying to slap that person away from the keyboard. Where are you? Yes, I'm cheating and looking. I'm so sorry. I just want to see it in all its glory. And more importantly, have a peek to see if it has a gun or not, and see what country it is. It's British. And it's unarmed, but I'd rather use my torpedoes. I should see if we can actually get a decent solution from this far away, because I really don't know if we can. On the other hand, it's not really that far. Bearing 351. And I'd say from the angle of the smoke coming out of the stack, it's maybe doing 4 or 5 knots. I don't know. What does it look like in the O-scope? It looks close, but it isn't. So we are actually going to turn
Neuer Kurs 119.
and keep ourselves with it. And try and get ahead of it. Alright, and now we are going to make a turn.
Neuer Kurs 60.
That sort of intersects his course, and then we're going to dive to periscope down.
Auf Seerotiefe gehen.
Because I don't really want to get much closer, because I think he probably will see us if I do. What kind of torpedoes we got? Alright. I'm not sure what we want to use for this. That's a toughy snuffy. Oh well, we'll figure it out later. For now, let's get down to the business of targeting. So let's sneaky a peeky. What's the bearing? 345. Okay, here's a lovely thing you can do if you have it enabled. You can tell your weapon officer to identify the ship. I mean, I know what it is anyway. It's a medium cargo. And that should be what he says. And it's almost a faster way to do it than flipping through the ID book. So, yeah. We're also going to use that speed to get up a little higher so that our periscope is a bit more useful. Does it identify it? Okie dokie, what do you say? You know what? We're just gonna find it. 'Cause it's a medium cargo, and we all know this. We just have to figure it out. Granville. I think we're past it. Oh, maybe not. Medium cargo. Maybe. Oh yeah. That's the one. That's the one. I'm just going to put in a rough estimate of speed. I'd say no more than 5 knots. And 15 degrees offset for the bow angle right now. But we're going to move to the attack scope. And there is a way to get an accurate speed reading when you're still moving. You just have to be pointing directly towards them when you have them cross the reticule. And that's essentially what we'll do. And for some reason I can't zoom with this, which is a bit of a pain. But let's bring the ship back up and get this all figured out. So we got about 1 Mach, maybe a little more. And the mast height is 25.6, which puts the range at 5 kilometers. I really, really don't like that. I really, really don't. I want to get closer. Question is, can we do it? Let's see how the bearing looks when we do get closer. Bearing's still coming down, but we are moving at a pretty decent pace. Alright. I think we can get a pretty good gyro angle here. So let's see what we can do. Let's get that on the waterline, and then I'm gonna say we got 1.5 and a bit marks, which puts the range down to 4,000 meters. I really don't like this, but it's all we can do. It's all we can do. And then we are going to see a speed reading from this angle would be kind of a little bit accurate. I just want to see if we can ballpark it. Actually, no, we're not going to do that. I don't think it's going to be accurate. So we are going to turn to that bearing, and then we're going to put the scope down to exactly 0 so that we can get a good speed reading on them, because it doesn't matter if you're moving forwards if they're crossing the reticle and you're moving directly towards them, because I want to keep our speed up so that we can get as close as possible before we shoot. Because I'm impatient, we're going to do another turn. Actually, we're not. We are just going to... Oh, crap! I'll just need to end it a few seconds later. Okay. So for a ship that's close to 150 meters long, this is a thing you can do, by the way. You can look around this red thing. That's going to put our speed at around... I'm going to stick it at 4.5 knots. Which is kind of good, because it means that we can sort of have a little more leeway with regards to our torpedo, because the ship's going so slow that it's not going to be too much of an offset with regards to the gyro angle. So we're going to see how it goes. And we're going to take one last range reading before we shoot. Oh, that gets us a really good gyro angle. It's only about 5 degrees with the AOB. And alright, so that's a little over 3 marks. We'll stick it at 3 and a bit. So that puts our range down to 1,800 meters. Okay. That gives us a much better chance of getting a hit. I'm going to put that down to about 1,600 because we'll have closed a little bit of distance by the time we're ready to shoot. Question is what torpedoes to use. I am thinking the Type 1s, because I don't think she's going fast enough to get out of the way. And get ready, open the tube, and... eins, los! Oh, zwei. Drei. Los! We're just going with impact pistols. Because we're just cool like that. I shouldn't have said that. That was awful. But this is looking pretty good. He said, grinning from ear to ear. Actually, no, that does look really good. I think we're getting some solid hits here. I think we're going to sink it. We haven't got an event camera yet, which is interesting. Oh, there we go. Let's sneaky a peeky.
Torpedotreffer.
Pow! Whammo! Schmutz! Splat!
Torpedotreffer.
Bonk! Yummy, yummy. Well, that looks like it did some damage. Well, seems my readings were accurate. Now she's going to the bottom.
Die Leute sind von Bord.
It's gonna sink.
Die Leute sind von Bord.
Please. Oh well. We're gonna watch it for a bit and see if it sinks. Let's get... Actually, no, let's keep the attack scope going for that, because it's already up. And... Is she even losing speed? Do we need to take another shot? Because I will. I will do it.
9-3.
Has it done any damage to the engines? She stopped her screws, so we could stop ours.
Alle Maschinen stopp. Alle Maschinen stopp.
Does it sort of a pact kind of thing? Oh no, she's going down. Okay, let's watch it sink. Glug 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 glug. Sink! Sink! Have a look at this flag. It's just flutter, 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 flutter. That flag is sacred. You're supposed to take it with you when you abandon ship. I think you are, anyway. I know if you're, like, on parade or something on land, you're not supposed to let the flag touch the ground under any circumstances. But anyway, she is sinking. And that is, a medium cargo of 5,083 glorious tons for the fatherland. And I'm actually going to end this here. So I will see you in the next bit. Until then, the toodaloo!